Among the Sleep is a horror game which takes making the player defenceless to the pinnacle level. To be any more defenceless, we would have to be a fanboy defending loot boxes on the internet. Now, Amnesia might be the granddaddy of the hide-and-seek horror game, who dropped two sprogs called Alien Isolation and Outlast, but nothing can beat being as vulnerable as a toddler. At least as an adult, you have the option to run away from whatever wants to eat your face or hang you on a wall, by waving your noodly arms trying to remember where all the lockers are. While I was playing this, I like to imagine that I was playing as Tommy Pickles, but I was in one of those darker Rugrats episodes. So this game definitely has an original setting, however the novelty wore off quite quickly because Among the Sleep turned out to be another clone of the previously mentioned games, just in a different skin and a hell of a lot shorter. Yes, it's another hide and seek horror game, but only for a couple of short sections. In this hide and seek clone you'll have to sneak past symbolic spectres that will kick you to a continue screen if you are caught. This being a budget Unity game, it also comes with its quality issues. Minor ones like clipping through objects, traversing over slightly different gradients can also be a problem, and trying to get Tommy to climb on things. Sometimes you have to be square on certain climbing objects for Pickles to get the message that I want him to climb up it. I ended up doing the walking side to side while jumping trick used in Skyrim to get up mountains. And I'm sure they got two of the sound files in the wrong place, because if you die by falling in water or off into a void, on the continue screen you will hear what sounds like bones crunching, but if you're caught by one of the spectres, all that you will hear is generic spooky music. There are no lockers to hide in, however there's various bits of random flea market furniture to hide in or under. The funny thing is, the discounted Halloween themed drag queen can see you go under a dresser, but for some reason she can't reach down to grab you. I don't know, maybe spectres don't have knees. So you sit there in plain sight awkwardly staring at its crotch, until it gets bored and goes back to following its predetermined route. This game feels like the main part has been gutted out. In the prologue level, which is unlocked after completing the game, there are other teddies that you have to save. When I saw them I thought I bet these teddies were supposed to play a bigger part in the game, but were later cut out. I thought maybe me and Teddy were originally supposed to buddy up on an adventure to go save each of these teddies. It could have been like playing a Toy Story game in a scary setting. Maybe they were intended to be something to save in the level alongside collecting memories. I don't know, it's like the devs are telling us that they were making two games and this was the one that was left on the cutting room floor. I think saving these teddies from mini-bosses on each level by completing unique puzzles would have added a lot to the game. Instead we're playing a really short collecting crap game. Shortly after starting the game it quickly expands with a deeper down the rabbit hole angle going for it, so I naturally got excited for what could have been pulled out of the bag. However, the payoff for setting up the table and building the atmosphere was three things that looked like they were bought off the discounted asset rack. These spectres felt like a parent trying to entertain a party of children because the clown was running late, but in the end the clown just never turned up. Most of the scares are by the number horror cliches, scary noises out of a can, things moving by themselves, you know the drill. It's a real shame that they did nothing with the direction that they chose, because the environments and enemies could have been as abstract and wacky as they wanted, with the only limitation being their imaginations. I have to charge Teddy with artificially building tension in an effort to make the game scarier than it is, by commenting that something is close, or we should be quiet, or I don't like this. It felt like Teddy was nudging me saying you should feel scared, but I don't feel something because someone tells me to. The atmosphere with real proof of danger from something that is scary should make the player fearful by itself. So you can shut up Teddy and go back to the Build-A-Bear factory and manufacture some balls. I've got to search every dark nook and cranny to find all of my crappy drawings. For the majority of this game you'll be going around collecting things. Collect a number of things to put in a thing. Then when you progress you will have to do the same again. For me this is one of those games that is built around a message. Because the message is so damn good it doesn't matter that the game is simple, not scary and short. So as I don't really have to explain the gameplay, I will move on to spoiling the revelation this game wants to share with us. I'm just going to bullet point them. What is best for a child should come first. Don't be a spiteful asshole. The legal system and stereotypes are not always right. I'd find this hard to recommend to anyone that has played other survival horror games from the hide and seek genre, because apart from the setting it has nothing new to offer. If you have played Amnesia, Alien, Outlast and even Slender, then I wouldn't bother with this because this doesn't stand up well in comparison. If however you haven't played any survival horror games and you prefer the lighter side of horror, I would say this might be worth considering when you see it cheap and you only want to play something for a couple of hours. Honestly though, I'd avoid getting this. Instead I'd advise waiting for Amnesia, Alien or Outlast to go on sale. I paid £3 for Among the Sleep, but I picked up Amnesia the collection for £4, and I've seen Outlast with the Whistleblower DLC for about the same price. Getting any of these games in a sale is much better value for money.